Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I have something I'm really happy to bring. This is a puzzle by Akash Doulani, and it's a puzzle that is from his most recent book. So Akash Doulani releases series of Sudoku books that each have 120 puzzles, I think, in them. I think one of them actually had more, which are very, very good if you're trying to learn skills. And his most recent book, which is this one, World of Sudoku Volume 5, is 120 puzzles from 10 different mathematical variants. And um, I he asked me if I would do a puzzle from the book to feature on the channel. So what I'm bringing to you today is paid content with permission. Um, to do, and he'd heard that he's seen enough videos of my channel or something to know that while these are mathematical puzzles and I struggle with those, a lot of the puzzles in the book are things like standard killer variants and little killer, and he thought that I would be able to do one of those puzzles rather than one of the more complex ones like averages and stuff like that. So as you can see, it includes killer, little killer, different Sudoku, which is something I've been playing with a bit recently, minus, star product, multiplication table, division Sudoku, average Sudoku, mathrax, and equation. So I did an equation Sudoku quite recently. I've seen mathrax Sudoku and it kind of scares me. I've attempted an average Sudoku puzzle in the last week and failed. That video has disappeared into the digital trash can of doom. But yes, attempting something like a killer Sudoku or a little killer Sudoku was something I was prepared to take on, one of the easier ones. I am trying to get better at the harder ones, but even though I'm going to be trying one of the easier, more well-known variants, and killer is probably the most popular Sudoku variant that there is, I'm going to be using my calculator for this. I have a spreadsheet which I filled with all of the cage totals and all of their possible ways of solving those cage totals, and then I can move those values into a working sheet that I have and delete options that become not possible. And I will absolutely be using that for this because there's a lot of very large and scary cages in this puzzle. I picked this puzzle out of the section simply because of its aesthetic value. It looked to be pretty, and I wanted something that the feedback I'm getting from my channel, both in email and through direct messages and discords and from the comments, is that people are really appreciating puzzles where they feel they can make progress. Puzzles with the incredibly hard break-ins, I struggle with them myself, and a lot of people I've received a lot of thanks for doing puzzles that, unlike one channel in particular, they feel they can actually do. And I think that other channel is way more valuable than mine. Don't get me wrong. But getting that makes me feel that I am hitting something that people want. And I'm going to keep trying to do that. Also, don't get me wrong, I am going to try and do some of those harder puzzles because I do enjoy them and I think they do need to get featured, and I like the setters. I have good friends with some of those setters and I do want to try and do their puzzles, but bringing some of this content, I might be wrong, this might be the hardest puzzle in the world, but I looked at this puzzle and went, there's some things here I can see straight away. People should be able to start this one off fairly simply, and that I thought was a good reason to pick this puzzle, so that hopefully people weren't just staring at the grid going, I don't know how to start, because I could see some things to start with. So that was my goal in picking this puzzle, to try and sort of find something where people would be able to start off and hopefully use the information they found. I don't know. I have not attempted this puzzle, and I am just hearing a noise I need to go deal with. I will pause this video and be back in a second. Okay, that should be dealt with. So, yeah, so anyway, I've picked this puzzle because of its aesthetic value and because of why I've said. So this is just a standard killer Sudoku. Before I start that, I will provide links below to where you can attempt this puzzle. I will provide links below to Akash's blog, where he publishes puzzles for free, and where you can pick up all 5 of his books. He'll have links to all of them there. I will see if I can post a link directly to where you can get this book as well. Another thing worth mentioning is the puzzle apparently on the cover of this book is solvable. Is something that he mentioned to me. Now, I don't know all of the rules, but in the book are all of the rules to the puzzle, and the puzzle on the cover is a bonus puzzle or something. I don't know if it's included in the books, but it is a solvable puzzle. So if you know all the rules, apparently that is solvable. I'm looking at it and going, really? Okay. I am daunted by that. But I'm much less daunted by this. So this is what I'm going to attempt. So, this is standard killer Sudoku. We are given no given digits, but in the final grid, every box, every row, and every column will have the digits 1 to 9 without repetition, and all of these cages will contain, when you add the digits up that are placed in the cages, will sum to the digit in the top left corner of the cage. So if I look at this little 7 cage, whatever I put in there, if you add those 2 cells together, they will sum to 7. In bigger cages that cross box boundaries and line boundaries and stuff like this, digits may not repeat. So it would not be possible for me to put a 6 there and a 6 there. That does not break the rules of Sudoku, but that cage there, right there, is broken. If you put 2 6s in the same cage together, they don't like each other, they fight, and there's blood everywhere, and it's very, very messy. Do not do that. So this is how Killer Sudoku works, and I am now going to attempt the puzzle. The reason I picked this is you get a very, very easy one. There's no 5 in the center of this puzzle. Like, I knew right away there was no 5 in the middle. That's very, very rare. That's an inside joke between setters. Don't worry about it. 7, 8, 9 is the only way to make up 24 in 3 that I am aware of. And right down the bottom, you've got 1, 2, 3, which is the only way to make up 6. 15 in 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you increase any of these digits by more than that, then this thing goes boom. And 35 in 5, and I did say, I think I was using my calculator, but I'm 99.9% sure that 35 in 5, yep, is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's a lot of maximal and minimal cages in here. Now 16 is the same restriction as 15, because if you were to increase any of the low digits, so if you were to say, I'm going to take 4 to a 6, you've actually increased the value by 2. So this can only be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. 16 in 5. And did I see a 34? Yeah, this 34 can only be 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, if I remember correctly, because of the same thing. You can only reduce one of these numbers by 1. If you reduce the 9 to an 8, then you've got 2 8s in the box and they'll fight, and it's very, very messy. Whereas if you reduce the 5 to a 4, it's the only way to do it. And if you reduce the 5 to a 3, you've reduced it by too much. So those are kind of given. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 already in here, so we can take 4, 6 out of there. There's 7, 8, 9 in here already, so I can take 7, 8, 9 out of there, and actually there's 4, 6 in there, so I can take 4, 6 out of all of that. There's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 6 means I can take 4 out of there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 5, which means this has to be 1, 2, 3, 5. But it can't be 1, so I need to make 7 out of those, so that's 2, 5. I can take 2, 5 out of there. This is 1, 3, and I can take 1, 3 out of those. It seems to be a lot less obvious down the bottom what I'm supposed to do. Is 17 as restricted? Not quite. It must have a 1, a 2, and a 3 in it, though. So there is a 1, 2, 3 in here, and I can't go higher than 7. So I must put an 8 and a 9 in this box, and I cannot put it in that cell because there's already a 7, 8, 9 in row 1. I can't put an 8, 9 in a 17 cage, and there's no 8, 9 there. That is an 8, 9 pair. I can't put an 8 or a 9 there. There's no 8 or 9 in any of those. There's no 8 or 9 there. That must be an 8 or a 9. No, that doesn't have to be an 8 or a 9. Well, because I could put the 8 or 9 there. Can I... What did I just do? I got it wrong. That's what I just did. There's a 1, 3 here, which means that is a 2, and there is no 2 in here. There's a 1 looking down here, making that a 3 and that a 1. 15 is 6, 7, 8, or 9, because it must be 6, 9, or 7, 8. If I was to use a 5 in here, the other digit would have to be 10, and that does not work. I have not used a 1, a 3, or a... Oh, no. I have not used a 1 or a 3 in this box. There's no 1 or 3 in there because there can't be in a 35 cage. There can't be a 1 or 3 there, and there's no 1 or 3 in here because that's a 1, 3. So I have to put a 1 and a 3 in this 9 cage, which sums to 4. So the other digit is 5. That takes 5 out of all of those. This is a 2, 4, so this becomes a 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. There is no 1 there. This is 1, 3, 5, so I can take 1 and 3 out of there. 1 and 3 must be in there. Five is now down, not here. 5 is down here. This has got a nice flow to it. I mean, I have no idea if I'm doing it right, but I'm enjoying the flow. Okay, that 5 means that this is a 2 and this is a 5. I'm jumping all over the place. There is no 2 here. Can I figure out what this 17 cage is? So the options are 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 5. I can't put a 5 in it because there's a 5 there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Now this can't be a 2 or a 1 or a 3. This is a 4, 7. This can't be a 1 or a 3. And the others can be anything from what I can see. So I can select all of those and take out the 2, and I can select those and take the 1, 3s out of the corner. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. This now must be the 6. Which takes 6 out of those. This now must be a 5. 5, 5. There's no 5 in those. That's the 5. There's no 7 up here because there's 7 in there. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. There's no 8, 9 in any of those. This must be an 8 or a 9. This gives me a 7, 8, 9 triple. Actually, that must be a 7, 8, 9. So there is a 7 in one of those two, which matches that being an 8, 9. That works. That must be that. This 10 cage can no longer be 1, 9, 2, 8, or 3, 7. This must be 4, 6, which takes 6 out of there. Puts 4 and 6 in here. 4 must be in one of those two because it can't be in that row because of the 2, 4 pair. Oh, that 2 is also there because for the same reasons. 2, 2 puts 2 in there. Oh, hang on. 3, 3. 3 goes in here somewhere as well. I'm going to mark that even though marking 3 locations may confuse me later. But it's not as obvious to me. I'm a little bit less precious. I will generally not mark 3 locations in a box if it was like those 3, because I will lose track. But when I'm trying to remind myself that I've narrowed it down to a row or a column, I will often do it that way. This 9 doesn't seem to be that restricted. What are the options for 31 in 5? There's lots of them. What about 21 in 5? Even more. Can I reduce this anymore? So these are from 5, 7, 8, and 9. This is a 7, 8, 9 triple. So that's a 4. I take 4 out of all of those. 4 now must be in one of those two. So I take 4 out of all of those. That 4 makes this a 6 and this a 4. That takes 6 out of there. This 2 takes 2 out of there. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. And I've got 5. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in that column, and 1, 2, 3 here. That's a 4, which makes that a 2 and that a 4. That 2 takes 2 out of there, which means this is a 1 or a 3. Now we know that these are 1 through 6. So this is a 5 or a 6. Because it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 5 or 6. But that's a lot less useful than I might like. Is that restricted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, 8, or 9. What is 20 in 5? So 20 in 5. So there's half a dozen different options. All but one of them requires a 1. Now, if I was to put a 1 in the cage, it would have to go there. I can remove any option that doesn't use a 4, so that gets rid of 2 of them. So I'm down to 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Can I eliminate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? The 6 would have to go in there with the 5. So I'd have to put 2, 3 in there. And I can't. So if it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can't put 5 or 6 in there because 5 is in there and 6 is in there. So 5, 6 would have to go here. 2, 3 would have to go here, and I can't put 3 in there. So this is not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There must be a 1 in this 20 cage, and I cannot put 1 in there because of that one, and I cannot put 1 in there because of the 1 that must go in the 9 cage. So that is a 1. This is now a 3, which makes that a 1, which takes 1 out of both of those. So it's now got a 1 and a 4 in it. 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. So that would be 2, 8, and that would be 5. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. So that would be 2, 6, and 7. 6 would go here. I'd have to put 2 and 7 there, which I cannot do because if I put 2, 7, so 6 would have to go here because of that 6. 2 and 7 there would mean that cell would have no valid option. So I can remove 1, 2, 4, 6, 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. I can't do because there's a 3 in the box. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 8 has to be the option. So these cells are 2, 5, and 8. There is no 5 there. I thought I'd narrowed that down further. Oh, yeah, that's the 5. That's not the 5. This is a 2, 8, which takes the 8 out of there, makes that the 7, makes that the 9. That is not the 7. This is a 2, 3. So this is a 6, 7, 8, 9. Except it's a 6, 7 because I can't put another 8 in the box. So this is a 6, 7. I can take 7 out of there. I can take 7 out of there. 7 is in one of those two, which means 7 is in one of those two. Actually, this is a 6, and these are a 7, 8 pair. Now I've got another 7, 8, 9 triple. So now do I need to look at this 31 cage? Because 31 in 5 has lots of options. And I know some people who solve these puzzles think that the way I do this with the calculator and eliminating options and everything is not as true as solving puzzles the other way. Okay, that feel free to solve it your own way. But for people who are learning Killer and people who are struggling with Killer, I want to make them feel comfortable that doing it this way, where you make a list of all the options and then just whittle through them and remove them, I think that's solving. And do not feel worried if you have to do it that way. Don't think that you have to do it all in your head. You will do more and more in your head as you go. But when you get to cages with 5 different numbers and as many as a dozen different options, feel free to get help. It's still you doing the work. So we must have a 6 in the 31 cage. So that removes 2 of the options, and we're left with 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. None of those. We must have a 9 in the cage. So there must be a 9 somewhere in the cage. There is a 7, 8, 9 already in there. So the 9, 7, 8, 9 triple already in that column. So there cannot be the 9 there. The 9 must be in one of those two. So we've got a 6, a 7, 8, and possibly a 9. We could have another 7, 8 in here, I think. No, we can't. No, we can't. So it's 6, 1 of 7 and 8, and 9. So I can't use 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I now need to put a 5 in this because it's either 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So there is a 5 in here with either a 4 or a 3 to go with the 7. If it's a 3, it goes there. If it's a 4, it goes anywhere. This 16 cage now can't have a 9 in it. So what about a 16 cage in 3 without a 9 or a 5? Because there's a lot of options for there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9 options, I think. So I can remove any option that uses a 9 and any option that uses a 5, which gets me down to 3. So I can't use 178 because if I used 178, that would have no fill. 268. 268 would leave that as 79. Yeah, 268 looks possible. 367. I'm not sure. So what have I missed? Is it this 9 cage? I can't use 1-8. I can use 2-7. I can use 3-6. I can use 4-5. Okay, we've got another 7, 8, 9, and I need to sneeze quite badly, so I'm pausing again. Sorry about that, everyone. So we do have another 7, 8, 9 in this column because we already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these had to be 7, 8, 9, which gives me a 7, 8, 9 in this row. So these are from 1, 3, 5, and 6. Well, this can't be 1 or 3. This can't be 1 or 6. And that can't be 5. Did that help? $21 in 5 looks weird. I mean, there's a lot of options for 21 in 5, like lots and lots and lots. Yeah, there's way too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 options. And I can't see how to remove. I can't use anything with a 6 in it because oh no, I could put a 6 there. I'm missing something. This 6, 7 is looking over, making that a 4, makes that a 6. It seems to have been completely useless. I do need to put 4 in one of those 3, but that doesn't force 4 into the cage. 4 still could go there. I don't think I can... Did I? I've narrowed this 16 cage down. Do I need to try that again? I am. I'm going to do that again. So I looked at 16 in 3. And I removed anything with a 9 and anything with a 5. How did I get rid of 178 doesn't work because it would clash with that. And 457 has a 5 in it. So the only options do not have a 4 in it. So 4, I cannot put a 4 in this 16 cage. 268 or 367. So I can't put a 1 in here. which all of a sudden means that's a 1, which is almost certainly going to be useful, but 4 now must go in one of those cells, because this is either 268 or 367, which means this is not 6, but it means because 4 must go in one of those and 4 must go in one of those, 4 cannot go in any of those cells, 4 must go in one of these, and of these two 4s knock it out of those. That right there is a 4, that is a 9. There is no 4 in those. I think that forces that to be a 5. Yes, because in the 31 cage, there must be a 5. That's the only place for it. 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24. In order to get to 31 from 24, that has to be a 7. That becomes an 8. These are 1, 2, and 3. That can't be a 1 or a 3. That's a 2. I can take 2 out of those. The 2 looks back, making that an 8 and that a 2. Pardon me. Hay fever in Melbourne. That's a 7, 9, which takes 9 out of those. This puzzle is actually fascinating to me. So in here, we need to put in, we know we can't put a 1 into the 16 cage. So 1 now must be up here, which takes 1 out of all of those. This can't be a 2 anymore because of the 2 down here. These can't be 7. This is an 8, 9 pair. We've now got an 8, 9 pair in that box, making that a 7, taking 7 out of there. That's an 8, 9 pair, which makes that a 7, which takes 7 out of there and 7 out of there. So this 16 cage. So we know we can't put a 1 in it. So what are the other options? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 6, 7. So we've got to make 16 out of only 2, 3, 6, and 7. So I can't use 2, 6, 8 because there's no 8. So this is 3, 6, 7. So I take the 2 out of there. They're my options. 3, 6, 7. Which means these are now known values, which is 1. 1 now has to go in the 21 cage, because if I put 1 into the 9 cage, I'd need to put it with an 8, which I don't have. So 1 will be going into the 21 cage, which makes that a 3 and that a 1, which means that's the 1 and that is not the 1. 2 can't go into the 9 cage, because if 2 goes into the 9 cage, it would need a 7, which I can't have. So 2 goes right there. Now this is 6. These need to sum to 15. I can't use 9 because 9 would need 6. So this is a 7 and this is an 8. This is now a 9. This is a 5. I can take 9 out of those because they're in the same cage as that one. 9 now must be in there, which is the most useful thing because I could never have used a 9. Useless thing because I could never have used a 9 in a 9 cage anyway. Does mean 9 is down here. And it can't be there, but it's in one of those two. I can probably narrow that down. But I'm looking at this 9 cage because I've only got 2 digits left, which I'm assuming are 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that's 4, 5, which makes that 3 and that 5. That 3 looks back, taking 3 out of there. We've now got 6, 7 pair, virtual 6, 7 pair. The only place for 2 in this row now is right there, because I can't put 2 in any of those, so 2 has to go in one of those 2, and that 2 eliminates that one. So that's a 2. So this cannot be a 4 anymore because of the 4, 5. So that must be the 4. This is not a 2. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9, and it's not 9. In fact, it couldn't have been 9 because of that. Now I've just got to look for the tricks, don't I? There'll be some interesting Sudoku to do. Such as, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 6. Which I had because I had 6s pointing into the box. Yeah, oh well. That 5 is looking at making that 4 and that 5. The 4 is looking at making that 4 and that not 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I've now got an almost fully pencil marked grid, apart from that cell. 7, 8 is looking up making that 9, which makes that 8, which makes that 7, which takes 7 out of there. This must be a 3 or a 5, and it sees a 5. Let me confirm that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, this is 3 or a 5. This is a 3. This is a 5. This is a 6. This is an 8. This is a 9. The 8 means that this can't be 7, 8. It's 6, 9, which means that's 7. There is no 7 there. The 6 looks over making that 3 and that 6. There's no 3 in there, so that's the 3. That's the 1. That's the 2. The 2 looks over making that 3 and that the 2. The 3 makes that the 1 and that the 3. And now, unless I have made a huge mistake somewhere, very possible, I think I've got this. And this has been a fun puzzle. I can take 6 out of these because of the 6, 9 pair or the 6 looking at it. I can pick one. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's this. There's a 7, 8. This becomes a 6. I could have done it by math or the fact that I could not duplicate the 7 in the box. So that's a 6. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. The 8 makes that a 9 and that an 8. The 9 makes that a 6 and that a 9. The 8 makes that a 9 and that an 8. And the 8 makes that a 9 and that an 8. And that looks good to the computer, and I think it looks good to me, and I hope it looks good to Akash, because I'm really trying to showcase how cool his puzzles are. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. This is the sort of killer Sudoku I really enjoy because it allows me to investigate the interactions of the cages and stuff. I wish I could set this well. I really would do. So thank you for watching. Please go and check out Akash's stuff. It is really worth doing. I imagine the other stuff in his book, which I will probably not be attempting to do on camera. I will definitely not. First of all, I have permission to do this. This is the thing. It's paid content. I'm giving you one puzzle from his book with permission. I'm not going to give you his whole book because then he would come after me, and he should. That would be bad. But I hope that this puzzle makes you very, very tempted to go and check out his other books because they are really worth doing. And yeah, please come back for more puzzles. I'm hoping to record more for today for release over the next few days. Yeah, I am going to have to fall back to only releasing when I can. There'll be gaps. I'm not going to be releasing every day. I cannot maintain that schedule, but I'm going to, if I can record multiple videos in a day, I will schedule them for one a day. And yeah, and if there's a couple of days gap, I'm sorry, but it's just the way I am. This is a hobby. I'm not doing it as anything more serious than that. So we'll see what we can do. And I will keep hunting good puzzles. And if you know of any good puzzles, if you discover any on the Cracking the Cryptic server, let me know about them. If you're a setter and you've got a puzzle of about the difficulty I enjoy, then feel free to reach out to me if you would like to see me do it. Yeah, I'm happy to talk to people about puzzles. My email address is below. My Discord contact details are below. feel free to reach out. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy the puzzle, and good luck with your solving.